Hello, coin collectors out there. Welcome back to the Big D Coins channel. Got a great video for you today. We got a 1967, 68 Kennedy half dollar and a 1969 Jefferson nickel. So here on this channel, what we do is we look at some kind of rare and interesting coins, try and do a variety of coins lately, touch upon just a bunch of different coins. So recently I made a video about Canadian quarters, Eisenhower dollars, 1930 pennies, 1938 Indian head nickels, Native American dollars, Euro cents, 1980s dimes, 50s quarters, America the Beautiful quarters. So those are some of the items we touch upon on this channel. And I also want to give a special shout out to people who leave comments on the channel. So this shout out goes to Susan Payne, who left a comment for me on the 1930 and 1940 Lincoln penny, emphasizing how I pronounce the word diadem. I'm thinking I'm pronouncing it right now, but it's try it again, diadem. And so that's the jeweled crown that you see Queen Elizabeth II wearing very often. So she left me a comment instructing me on how to pronounce that. So hopefully I can nail that going forward. All right, so let's get into the video. So we're talking about the 1967 and 1968 Kennedy half dollars. These ones right here are extra special because they were made from the period of 1965 until 1970, meaning that they are 40% silver. So the ones that were made in 1964, that one's 90% silver, 65 to 70 is 40% silver, and then from 71 to 74, those are the copper nickel clad copper coins. So let's zoom in a little bit right here. So the main reason, or the main way that you can tell that these are silver are looking at the sides. You don't see any copper showing through on the rim. So that's a good indicator right there that they are silver. Also the dates are key as far as determining the dates, but in case you forget what the exact cutoff is, in case you forget that 1970 was the last year that they had silver in them, you can look at the rim and you can tell it that way. You can also tell it by throwing them on the scale, so that's what we'll do here. I got this little scale on Amazon, pretty cheap. Shipped it all the way from China, arrived at my door within a couple of weeks. But it's a nice little nifty scale. It's great for measuring coins. I'm sure if you search on Amazon, you can find this particular scale. But the 1965 to 1970 silver Kennedy half dollars are supposed to weigh 11.5 grams. So this one weighs 11.60 grams. Let's see how much this one weighs. It's not exact, but it's close enough to tell you what type of metal content it is. So this one weighs 11.43 grams. So one was a little bit heavy, one was a little bit light, but you can definitely tell from that they do not weigh the 1.3 grams that you would expect from the copper nickel clad Kennedy half dollars. All right, so the design's pretty simple. You're probably used to seeing this design before. It's a profile of JFK facing the left. If there is a mint mark, it is over the 9. It is over kind of the middle numbers right here, the 9 right there. So that's where you'll see the mint mark. That's the classic D mint mark right there. Let me zoom in just a little bit. As you can see, the one on the left is worth well, it's in much better condition. They're probably worth about the same just based on their silver content. Now, some key characteristics when looking at the Kennedy half dollar that will help you determine its value are the hair. So the hair is kind of one of the finer detailed part as well as the cheekbone. But if you can see some good detail in the hair, that can be worth a lot more money. And again, the cheekbone, that's kind of where it will wear out first because that's the highest point of the coin. You can see some wear and tear here and there, and then the hair's got some details, some fine details to it. All right, so as we do on this channel recently, we're going to touch upon some cool error coins that are mentioned in the Cherry Picker's Guide. One error coin, let me get this one out. We'll leave this one right here. But one error coin that's kind of cool that we don't talk about too much on this channel is the inverted S. So what that means is that, the standard shape of the S is kind of, like that. This one is inverted, so it's kind of the opposite direction. So this involves the 1968 S proof coin. It has a inverted S mint mark. The S mint mark was punched into the die in an inverted orientation. This became a highly sought after variety. So it's a proof coin. So the highest grade for that they have documented here is the PF67, which for this particular variety, this particular era coin, is valued at $225. So that's $225 for the PF67 graded 1968 inverted S proof coin. Now another one, 1968 as well, is the 1968 Denver Mint, which is the one I've got here, the triple die obverse. So the description of that is a triple image is visible on In God We Trust, the date, and the Y. This is a minor but interesting variety. The early die state will command a premium over the values shown, and the values shown are mint state 65 at $40. So it's not the most expensive era coin out there, but it's a pretty cool one as well. So there's a triple die obverse, there's a inverted S mint mark, and there are two other double die obverses that we'll skip over for now because we like to keep it interesting, and we'll move on to the next one. All right, so the next coin I have here is this one right here. Now this one, at first glance, I thought for sure this had to be a proof coin, but to my disappointment, this one is made at the Denver Mint. Only the proof coins in 1969 for the Jefferson nickel, which is this nickel right here, were made at the San Francisco Mint. All right, so you can tell the mint mark right down here, but you can see this coin is absolutely in great shape. So I'm guessing maybe this came out of like a special mint set. Not necessarily a proof coin, but one of those special mint sets that people keep together, and eventually someone must have broken it up and pulled this one out, but this one's in great shape. Must have pulled it out recently and then chucked it back into circulation. So I'll just give you, let me adjust the coloring, the lighting a little bit here. All right, so you can see this coin is just in great shape considering its age. 1969, it's got a very light punching of the Denver Mint mark right down there. Not very prominent at all. It's struck rather lightly, meaning that it probably came from a die that was used kind of later in the series. All right, and I'm sure you guys know a key point to look at when looking at the reverse of the Monticello. So that's Monticello right there. That's Jefferson's Virginia home. But a key area to look for is these steps right here. The most expensive Jefferson nickel coins are what's known as the full steps coins. So those have the full steps. You can see the much better detail than this one right here. Now, although this coin is in great shape and it hasn't been circulated too much, you can't even see the steps at all. Now that's more of an indication of the die that was used. The die that was used, the piece of metal that has the design that slams down into the nickel or copper nickel planchet, that can be worn out before it even strikes the coin. So this thing could come right off the mint presses and not even have designs on those steps right there. So that's a key place to look for when looking at the reverse. But if you guys know what this coin might be other than just the special mint set, it's in great condition. It's got a shinier finish to it than what you would expect to see from a nickel of this era. Let me pull out another nickel. So this is another nickel from the era. So that from the era, excuse me. So that's what you're kind of expecting to see right there. And then we got this shiny one right here. All right, so let's hop into the bonus coins that I've got for the end of the video. This one right here, it's a Canadian 1 cent coin, but it's a little bit different because this one's kind of the older one. This one was made from 1937 until 1947, and most notable is that it has King George VI on it. He's facing the left, so this series was made from 1937 to 1947. A little bit of a different image for you for the obverse of the Canadian 1 cent coin. All right, and the next one up, we're just going to kind of go through these quickly so you can see the different obverse designs for these Canadian 1 cent coins. This one right here, this particular design was made from 1953 until 1964, so a little bit longer of a run than the previous coin. This one right here features Queen Elizabeth II, but her at a very young age. This is her at age 27 years old. It's a portrait of her facing the right. So if we put this side by side right here, these are two cool older Canadian 1 cent coins. They're not worth too much more, but they're kind of cool to have, include in your collection, because they're a little bit different than what the normal person sees when they find a Canadian coin, because it's probably not this old. All right, again, so these ones were the 1942 and the 1963 Canadian 1 cent coins. All right, I'll start to shut it down. If you guys enjoyed this video, as I always say at the end of the channel, end of the video, please do like, comment, subscribe. As you guys know, that kind of helps promote the channel, so appreciate that a lot. But most importantly, best of luck coin collecting, everyone out there. Enjoy.